Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you all so much for joining me in today for another pick a card video. For those of you who might be new to my channel, welcome on in. My name is Melissa. Please make sure that you are following me on all of my social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, all is linked in the description box down below. The topic that we are going to be reading on today is going to be an energy check-in between you and your love interest. And we're also going to be finding out what is the next step for this connection coming into the near future. So if you all are in a relationship with someone, a situationship with someone, maybe you're just curious about where you stand with someone, this will be a really great in-depth reading to help provide you with a little bit of clarity on what's going on from each person's perspective, maybe deep down beneath the surface, and what energy you can expect coming into the near future, plus some advice for you, my viewer. So let's go ahead and get into our card selection for today's reading. Starting here on the left, we have the Lover's Path Tarot with some strawberry quartz. In the center here, pile number 2, we have the Tarot of Haunted House with some moonstone. And then number 3 is going to be the Ethereal Visions Tarot with some green moonstone. So take a deep breath. Think about your connection with your person. Let's think of the dynamics at play, what's going on, what do we need clarity on. And I want you all to really select using your intuition and your gut instincts. So don't just pick because you think a deck sounds or looks cool or you really like the way a crystal looks. You need to select with your intuition. Okay? So whenever you've made your selection, go ahead and check the description box down below. I will have timestamps there for you to click to skip to your reading. Hello there, group number 1. If you all selected this strawberry quartz with the Lover's Path Tarot, let's go ahead and see what's happening in your connection with your person. So I'm going to start with our pre-shuffled oracle cards. So we can first kind of get an idea of like what dynamics are at play within your connection right now. Then what we're going to do is take a look into what energies you guys can expect with this connection coming into the near future, and we will close it out with some advice. So starting off group 1, the shared energy between you and your person, we have the energy of support, and we have the butterfly. So already very beautiful shared energy, okay? One person in this connection is represented here by the dark night of the soul with spiritual bond. And the other person is represented here by the message of lessons with resolution. Wow. Okay. Pile number 1. So right off the bat, you guys, like this, even though we have a person here that's going through like a dark night of the soul as it pertains to themselves or this connection, the energy that I feel feels really positive. I feel really calm reading this energy. I feel almost like this sense of acceptance reading this energy. Like both people in this connection are kind of seeing things clearly. At least that's just the initial impression that I'm getting right now. The shared energy between you both is the energy of support. So I do feel like each person, each party within this connection truly feels like they can lean on the other one if needed. And with the message of butterfly, this is about this relationship going through a transformation right now. This relationship is changing into something different than it's been in the past. And I do feel like this relationship is going through a period of healing for the vast majority of you. And the reason I feel this way is because we have one person over here being represented by lessons with resolution. And so with this book here, it's like this person has really kind of reflected on this relationship and become enlightened to the greater lesson, the greater purpose of the connection, what they learned from going through the experience that the both of you shared together. And I feel like this person is sort of just like, with resolution being here, it's like they know what they need to know to be able to move forward, whether it's going forward with this person or going forward separately in the near future. It's like I feel a really strong sense of acceptance from this person over here. This person with Dark Night of the Soul and Spiritual Bond, like this person is definitely someone that, like as it pertains to this connection, I feel like they may still be healing from this. So this could be you, this could be your person that you guys are asking about. They do feel a very deep connection with you, pile number one. Like this is definitely a connection that is spiritual in nature. It's not just physical, sexual chemistry in this relationship. This person really feels a deep connection to you, where maybe like they still dream about you at night if you guys aren't together. They think about you a lot. You guys are very compatible on that way. But with them going through a dark night of the soul, it's like this person is really needing to take a time out to focus on their own healing in a sense. Like it's interesting because this person is very much in the dark and this person is represented here by a lot of light. So there is a little bit of a difference here. It's almost like maybe this person is a source of support for this person. And maybe this is why you guys are coming to this reading. If things are feeling a little bit off balance right now, I'm wondering if this is like a situation where the person that's going through this darkness right now might be leaning a lot on this person who is such a source of bright, warm light for them. But it doesn't feel like overly negative or energy vampire-ish at this particular point in time, because you guys do both share this energy of support of like wanting to be there for one another. So let's pull just a couple of tarot cards so that we can get some clarifiers on these energies that I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and see for person number one here on the left. Let's clarify this dark night of the soul and the spiritual bond. Like, where does this person currently stand in this connection? Pile number one. Okay, that one flew out. That's interesting. And let's go ahead and see for person two. Where do they currently stand? The moon card. Interesting. Yeah, so with the hermit being here at the bottom, I definitely feel that you guys could be in separation from this person, or at least like taking your space to reflect on things. Maybe not spending as much time together as you may have once done in the past. I feel like this person right now is in a place where they are focused more on their own self, their own independence, maybe their finances, their career, things of that nature. Because the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Coins, this is a very independent energy. This is about like having all of your stuff together to the point where you can just like enjoy your life and not have to worry about things like money and paying your bills. Like you've got everything you need. But this, more than that, this card for me is really about being able to be independent, being able to be self-sufficient, not needing to rely on others for support all the time. And so with this Nine of Pentacles coming up here with our Dark Night of the Soul viewer, it's like, or person, I feel like this is kind of about what this person is going through or needing to heal. I feel like this person is needing to work on like being able to be like on their own without needing someone else to support them, whether that's physically, you know, in the 3D realm or emotionally as well. I also feel for some of you all viewing this, that this person views my viewer. So like if you guys are resonating with this pile, I feel like this person views you as this as well. Like they see you as someone that's really independent, self-sufficient, got all of your stuff together. And I feel like a part of them doesn't necessarily see themselves in this way. And so a lot of times connections are like a mirror, right? To like looking in the mirror in a lot of ways. And so they may be attracted to you because you are such a source of light for them. Or vice versa, if this is the other way around. But, you know, they're seeing something in you that they don't necessarily have in themselves. That they admire this about you and they want this for themselves as well. Now over here with our person with lessons, we have the moon card. So I do feel that this person, like perhaps a part of the lesson that they needed to learn from this relationship was maybe around just being realistic, because the moon card can be very much about like being in a fantasy about a relationship, or intuitively maybe knowing that something about it is not quite in alignment, or something feels a little off about it, or you're getting those intuitive messages, but you're not necessarily listening to it necessarily, if that makes sense. I feel like I just repeated myself a ton. And so with the moon energy being here, I feel like this person is really needing or learning through this relationship to better trust in their intuition, to better trust in those little tinges that they're feeling in their gut when it comes to being in a relationship. I also feel that this person with the moon card here could sometimes have struggled with feeling anxious in this connection. Maybe like it's a feeling of not knowing where it was going, or maybe this person themselves didn't really have a plan for where it was going, right? Because they weren't really in touch with what they really wanted. And now, like through going through this experience with this person, they're now able to better understand where those fears and anxieties are coming from. So it's like both parties here are definitely going through a healing phase. We have inner child here as well. So it makes me think that maybe like both of these things that are being healed for each person, like could have had to do with like a deeper healing that needed to happen. Maybe you guys are kind of like healing inner child wounds through this connection. But it's definitely going through a transformation. So what I want to do next, pile number 1, is let's get some insight into where this is headed. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to move these guys out of the way, get us like a nice fresh canvas here. And I'm going to now use Tarot and Oracle to see like what's next for this connection as the energy stands today. So this is timeless. So whenever you guys are guided to view, you know, take the timing how it resonates for you. So what's next for this connection for pile 1? My pile 1 viewers, what's coming next for this relationship that they're inquiring about? So we have the 6 of Cups, the King of Staves, which is the King of Wands, followed by the Death card. Transformations coming through, and at the bottom of the deck, the 6 of Arrows. So the 6 of Arrows or the 6 of Swords is about moving on from something. So I definitely see like this situation continuing to move forward and improve in a lot of ways. But I want to kind of get a little bit more with these cards before I get into the whole thing. So let's go ahead and clarify these messages, please, Spirit, for my pile 1 viewers. Okay. So we have awakening coming through here. Okay. Clarify this King of Staves for pile 1. Oops. Let's get another one. Sorry, guys. Okay, that's what I thought. And finally, let's clarify this Death card for pile 1. The Spring card, yes. Bottom deck energy is the energy of fall. So depending on when you guys are viewing this video, I'm wondering if a lot of this transformation energy that this reading is talking about is happening in the fall season. As I'm recording this video, it is, what month is it? It's early August. It'll be uploaded later in August, but there's an undertone of this autumn energy, and autumn could, like I said, have to do with the fall season, but it could also have to do with this recurring message of evolving and of transformation and of change, because if you guys think about it, in the fall season is when things start changing in nature, right? The leaves start turning, things start kind of cooling down, so that we can go into like that hibernation to prep for the spring, right? And you guys also had the butterfly, which talks about changes, and you have the Death card, which talks about changes. And Scorpio season is also coming through for me here, because we've got the King of Wands with the Death card. Death card is Scorpio energy. So maybe Scorpio season or the sign of Scorpio is of significance to this connection from a timing perspective as well, which would make sense depending on where you live with the fall. So what do I see happening for this relationship coming into the near future, pile one? I still see you being in connection with this person, with the Six of Cups. If you're in separation right now, as you're viewing this video, the Six of Cups oftentimes talks about a reconciliation. So I do feel that you guys are going to be with this person in some capacity. And the reason I feel that is because of also the Six of Arrows, the Six of Swords. This is about forward movement, moving from stormy waters to calm waters, kind of getting through the storm, moving on, right? So I do still feel that there is this like reconnection coming forward in the near future. And I do feel that through this reconnection, there is this awakening that's happening for both of you. And that's very much what you guys are already going through with all these cards that we've already discussed, with the butterfly especially. I feel like whoever is identifying as the masculine here is really transforming in their self-worth. So that message really could have applied to either party here, right? Because both people were going through healing lessons around confidence in self, more so this person though, with the dark night of the soul energy. So I do see the masculine really coming into the near future. Whoever identifies as more the masculine energy could be a fire sign as well, Leo, Sag, Aries for some of you. This person's really learning to be more confident in themselves with the self-worth card. The King of Staves or Wands is also somebody who is very confident. This is someone that's able to take the lead and kind of knows where they want to go when they're in a romantic relationship. This is somebody who is going to be very upfront and forward with you about how they feel, what they want to do with you, what their plans are. Very passionate energy as well. And so I do see that this person in particular is being highlighted here in this reading, and they're working on transforming in their self-worth. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if it was our dark night of the soul person, because this person was working on that, right, specifically. Finally, we have the Death card, transformation with spring. And so this is making me feel like by the spring season, there is a transformation, a change, like a full shift coming through, where now we can kind of leave behind the energies of the past and be able to transition into whatever this connection is really meant to be coming into the near future. I also think just in general, you guys, like this Death card is speaking of just the whole connection in general, not necessarily like it's going to happen in this particular order. This is just near future energy or like what's next for the connection. So just in general, like the biggest message here is that this relationship is undergoing a change so that both parties are able to heal, and specifically the masculine is healing in their confidence and self-worth. I feel like a lot of this work is happening in the fall, and by spring season, it's like there's a new beginning at play for this relationship. But I also think that the spring card just talks about new beginnings in general. So the fall kept being being brought up, Scorpio season, right? So you could start to see these changes coming through in Scorpio season as well for some of you. So what I want to do is close this reading out with a little bit of advice from the Whispers of Love Oracle deck. So for my pile one viewers, what guidance or advice do they need to know about this connection as the energy stands when they are viewing this reading? What should they focus on at this time? Ooh. So we have consider your foundation. Look at how committed you are to love. Bottom of the deck, we have love is all around you. There's love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as a truth. So there's a message here for you guys around commitment and foundations as it pertains to this relationship. So I feel like you guys are being guided at this time to think about, like, whether it's with this person or just in general, what type of relationship are you really wanting, right? What type of relationship do you feel comfortable committing to? Do you personally maybe struggle with commitment issues if things aren't totally the way you want it to be? Are you guys really picky? Like, those are just some random things that are popping into my brain right now. But there is something here about commitment, and consider your foundation. Like, Specifically, this starts with you, pile number one. So like you have to look at, as the card says, how committed you are to love first, right? Like, and then you can branch that off into like your person and if you guys are compatible in that sense. I wasn't really getting any like commitment phobe vibes from this reading, but this is coming through for a reason. So there could be something that you guys need to look deeper into here. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out there for you, pile number one. This reading has gotten to be about 20 minutes long. It's really long, so we're going to stop here. But I hope that it was able to help you out and provide some additional insight and support for you as you navigate this relationship. Thank you all very much for taking the time to view today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile two. If you all selected the Moonstone with the Haunted Mansion Tarot, this is going to be your energy check-in between you and your person. So we're going to start off by looking into some oracle cards, and then we are going to first go into like the dynamics at play in this connection, do like the energy check-in, and then we're going to get into like what's next for this relationship. So shared energy between you guys right now, we have time apart, and I like you. Okay. So I can see why you guys might be confused right off the bat here, because those are some interesting energies. We have one person represented here by bound, with bringing out the best in each other. The other person in this connection, we have awakening and true love. Okay, that's interesting, you guys. So starting off with the shared energy in this connection. So this definitely is showing that the two of you are in separation right now. Or if you're not in separation, you guys are both coming to the realization that some time apart is actually necessary in this connection. So this may not even be necessarily about you guys totally breaking up or not being together anymore, because there's a lot of loving energy being highlighted here. But it's like there's this knowledge that maybe the both of you need to practice a healthier distance in this relationship, focusing on having activities and things to do outside of the connection versus always being stuck together, which we're going to get to that in a minute. We also have I like you. So this is about a blooming romance, wanting to date each other. There's definitely feelings here, definitely crush vibes here for sure. So if you guys are still connecting with this person on a pretty regular basis, you guys both mutually feel the same about one another. There's definitely feelings here, like a budding romance for sure. And if you are in separation from this person, that same message still applies. Like, even though you may be distant from one another right now physically, it's like there are still mutual feelings at play here. There's a person in this relationship who is not really in the healthiest space as it pertains to this connection. This person is kind of a lower vibrational energy right now, where this person is high vibe. It's kind of similar to the last pile number one reading. So if you guys felt kind of drawn to that one, this energy feels kind of similar to me, where we have one person that's sort of like not as good with being on their own, and the other person that's more high vibe, the source of light and then the dark. I feel like this person may struggle with connections in general, with like getting like unhealthily attached to their partners. And this could be why there's this message of distance and needing time apart, because like this person may have like a dependency issue where they like latch on to their partners, or they're latching on to you, or again, this could be flipped. I'm reading this as if this is your person. I'm just assuming it is, but it could be the other way around. So just keep that in mind. But like this person is latching on to this person, I feel, because this person is very much a source of light. This person feels really good in this person's presence, and they're drawn to this person's light. But they have some unhealthy habits and things that they personally need to work on. on their own. And again, this could be why we have this time apart message here being shared. Maybe both parties are aware of this. And I actually do feel this person is aware of this because we have bringing out the best in each other. So it's like this person on some level may recognize that like they're not showing up as their best self in this connection, and they want you both to bring out the best in one another. Now this person over here, we have ascending and we have true love. This person is much more enlightened spiritually. They're much more awakened to the truth of this connection, and I do feel that they are able to see it from a higher perspective. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the person that has like maybe suggested the conversation or like suggested the notion of taking space, because this person is coming across as much more aware of themselves and much more aware of what's really happening in this relationship. This person might be very spiritual as well, or just very evolved or experienced in connections where they can kind of recognize unhealthy behavior and move in a way that is going to be best not only for themselves, but for both parties. I also see that this person does have a lot of love for the other person in this connection. So it's like, even if they don't like the idea of having to take space, there is still a lot of love here for the other person. So I want to get into some tarot cards here for each of these people, and let's just kind of get some clarification on what we just read on for pile 2. Ooh, these cards keep flying out. So let's go ahead and clarify person 1 here on the left. What is this bound? Bringing out the best about. Yeah, okay, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles. And for group number 2, or person 2, let's clarify this. Ascending. The 8 of Wands. All right. At the bottom, we've got the Knight of Swords. So there could be a Gemini involved here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy coming through. So yeah, you guys, this person, like, I feel could be going through a hard time financially right now with the 5 of Pentacles. I also think that this person may have low self-esteem as well. Because the 5 of Pentacles can oftentimes speak of just not feeling like we're good enough, being in kind of like a poverty mindset as well. So even if like they do, how that might come to life in a relationship is like, even if they do have you and you guys are committed to one another or connecting with one another, they're always going to be coming from this place of lack, feeling like they just don't have enough, not enough of your time, not enough of your energy, or they don't have enough to really bring to the table to really meet you where you are. Like, this person feels like they know their worth and they know like that they are like up here, not in a condescending way, but they carry themselves with a sense of confidence that this person really struggles with. This person does not have confidence in themselves, is what I feel. So over here with the 8 of Wands, this person is it's almost like with this 8 of Wands, like there's this feeling of, there's still a lot of light coming through that's drawing my eye, but it's like this forward movement, this passion that they have for the other person. This person definitely has a lot of love and romantic energy for the other party in this relationship. And they may want to have a conversation about what's going on here. Because the 8 of Wands oftentimes talks about like fast communication coming in, but it can also talk about just like movement, like fast-paced movement as well. This person might be kind of sprung, I'm not going to lie, by the other person. They may like just really want to connect with them. So pile 2, let's transition into the next part of our reading, which is going to be what's next for this connection. So we're going to kind of like shift this stuff out of the way for just a moment. And let's find out what energy you can expect to come in next for this relationship. Oh, hold on a second. Did I mix my decks up? What's going on here? Oh yeah, hold on. I hate when that happens. All right, we'll figure it out. All right, so for pile, and actually, hold on, I don't want this one right now. I want this one. Sorry, you guys. So for pile 2, let's see, what is coming in next for this connection? For my pile number 2, what is the next energy that pile 2 can expect as it pertains to this relationship that they are asking about? All right, so we've got the 10 of Wands. We have the Judgment card. And we have the 4 of Swords. Yeah, so bottom deck energy, we have the Star. You guys are really like needing to or are about to go through a period of time of just like healing with regard to this relationship. And I definitely do see that that separation energy is certainly coming to fruition here. So let's get some clarifiers with this other deck so we can see. A little bit more of a deep insight here for my pile 1. So let's start with clarifying. What is this 10 of Wands about? Soulmate. Whoop. What is the Judgment card about? Ah. Okay, family wanted to pop out, so we're going to take it. And last but not least, what is this 4 of Swords about? Understanding, yes. Bottom of the deck, commitment. There's still like a lot of this commitment energy coming through, you guys. So it's like, even though there seems to be a little bit of an imbalanced dynamic at play with one person versus the other, like there's so many messages about like love and feelings and like unity and passion and soulmates, right? So in the near future, coming into the near future here, what I see for this relationship is that you guys are kind of coming to a space of needing to like reevaluate things and like make a decision. And this is likely why we have this message of time apart. Like some distance in time will bring clarity, right? I feel like with the Judgment card here, this is about like doing a total just like review of the relationship and really deciding like what is the next step that we're truly going to take together. With the family card clarifying this as well, maybe some of you guys do share family with this person. So like there could be a really long history that you guys have of commitment with this person, maybe you've been together for many years. There could be children involved in this relationship. You know, every connection is going to be different, right? But I feel like the reason that you guys are needing to sort of figure this out in the near future here has to do with a family dynamic that's at play. And if none of those messages resonated, this could just be about, you know, you each desiring this outcome and you guys needing to decide if you're going to be able to achieve this outcome together. With the 10 of Wands here, with soulmate, it's like a lot of heavy energy for sure with this connection right now. And specifically, I do feel the feminine is the one that's carrying the weight of this connection on their shoulders. And so if you are feminine or identify as a feminine and you are watching and identified with this ascending and your person is this is why. Because if you even look at this card, she has this, you know, negative energy bound to her. And that's kind of what this 10 of Wands is about. This is about the feminine needing to kind of like carry the brunt of the weight of the connection on her shoulders. And I feel that whoever's identifying with this 10 of Wands, this feminine energy that I'm picking up on, they're doing this because they love the other person. They feel like this is their soulmate. There's like definitely a genuine connection here. Ultimately, though, I do feel that there's going to be space taken here in this relationship so that both people can have a more clear understanding of like what's going on and what decision we really need to make and what do we need to do going forward. So what I want to do next, let's get some advice for you, pile 2, and just kind of see like what do you, my viewer, watching this reading, need to know moving forward. All right. So we have for you, embrace your emotions. Allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. So I feel for you guys who are viewing this, whichever party you guys identified with, whether you felt like you resonated more with ascending or you felt like you resonated more with this person over here, what Spirit is wanting you to know is that your feelings are valid, and you may need to spend a little bit of time as you navigate through this potential separation with kind of identifying what it is that you're really feeling, right? The Four of Swords can talk about like just taking a break, needing to rest and relax our mind because we've been really just going through a tough time. And so maybe through this distance and this separation and this taking a mental break from the situation, this is going to allow you guys to better understand what's at play here and how you're truly feeling about things. I also think that once you guys have embraced how you're truly feeling, it's going to be really important for you guys to communicate that. So whether you're communicating it with like your person or you're communicating it with like a licensed professional or a trusted loved one, a family member, whatever it is for you, this is what you're being guided to do right now, is focus on yourself and focus on the way you're feeling, not necessarily worrying so much about your person right now for whatever reason. There is still this undertone of commitment here, so I don't want you guys to freak out and think that this is like a doom and gloom reading, because I definitely don't feel that. I just feel like there's just a need to take some space right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out for you, pile 2, but definitely drop me a comment down below. Let me know how it resonated. Thank you all so much for taking the time to view this reading today, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello there, group number 3. If you all selected the green moonstone, let's go ahead and get into your energy check-in between you and your love interest. So we're going to start off by just kind of doing a deep dive into the dynamics that are at play in this relationship, and then we will get into what's next for the connection. So let's go ahead and see what we have for the shared energy. So the energy that you both share at this moment in time, we have the message of intuition, and we have ascending. We have one person represented here by recognition and other obligations. The other person, we have compromise and yes. Okay, not all bad. So what I will say, just right off the bat, is that the shared energy is really good. And the first thing that really jumped out to me is that like both parties seem to be thinking about the other person at this particular moment in time versus like their own selves in a way. So let me explain. So intuition, you guys already know the answer you seek. And we also have the message of ascending. This is shared energy. So I feel like you and this person are both in this place of being ready to like almost like see this connection from a higher perspective, move through any sort of obstacles. That's a message that I'm seeing coming through. I feel like this is a period of time in this connection where there's like a sense of understanding coming through, learning. This card also talks about a new phase in this relationship. And the new phase, I feel like, is coming after a period of time of like maybe seeing one another in a different way than you have before. We have one person here on the right-hand side that's represented by compromise and yes. This person is 100% really willing and able to like work with the other in order to be able to have a successful connection right now. Like I definitely feel like this person is wanting to overcome any obstacles or any challenges that this connection has been facing, and they are definitely thinking of the other person. This person is represented by recognition with other obligations. This person is also like willing to see where the other person is coming from with recognition. It's like this person is maybe in a space where they're finally seeing the other person clearly, or recognizing this person in a place where you guys are seeing eye to eye, because I'm looking at how the two eyes are really close together, the noses are touching, right? And I feel like perhaps this person has been in a place where they've been distracted by other things, or they have felt that maybe there's been other, I mean, the card says it, other obligations in their life that have maybe taken priority outside of this connection. And this could be where any sort of conflicts could have been coming from, right? But it wholeheartedly feels like both people are willing and able to like meet the other person where they're at right now. So let's get a little clarification here. So I want to start off with my person on the left. What is this recognition and other obligations person? Like, what is this energy about for this person here? Where do they stand? The sun. This person is seeing things clearly now. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and see this person here on the right. Where do they stand? Ooh, it's way too many. This person, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, you guys. Look at this. Bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. A partnership that's in alignment, based in love. This is beautiful energy. Yes, this person here with the sun, I almost am getting the vibe that like this person has known all along how they felt about this connection and been willing to work on things. This person, maybe they've been a little slower to get hip to the game that's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a major arcana here of the sun card. And so this is talking about like a major shift, a major energy that this person over here is moving through. And I feel like they are now seeing things more clearly than they have in the past. This person is coming through as being very like radiant and just joyous with regard to this connection. I feel like they are a source of light for this person, but I also feel that this person sees the other as a source of beautiful light and energy as well. Sorry, you guys, my camera. Let me fix this. My bad. The other person here with this Eight of Pentacles coming through is 100% echoing this message of compromise. Like the Eight of Pentacles in a romantic setting. Sorry, you guys, I don't know why this keeps rolling around on me. The Eight of Pentacles in a romantic setting is, you know, I see this person as wanting to like work on things. They're wanting to put in effort, time, effort, and energy to like be able to make this connection work in the way that it needs to get to know this person, to actually do things, practical things, to be able to make this connection ascend to the next level, right? So what we're going to do next, pile number 3, is we're going to clear this out for just a moment, and then we're going to look into what's next for this connection. But this overall energy, these dynamics at play that we just looked into look really good. So let's go ahead and see for pile number 3, what is next for this relationship as the energy stands today. What's next for this connection? So we've got the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, lots of air energy coming through. Could be some air signs in this relationship. The Four of Wands. Okay, bottom deck energy, we have the Seven of Swords. Let's get some clarifiers here with this Mystic Moon deck. Ooh. Okay, I'll fix them in a second. What's next for this relationship? For pile number 3. Definitely a lot of communication, a lot of conversations, a lot of swift action being taken here with that Knight of Swords, but let's see. hold the phone here. Sorry, pile 3, your reading's been like a mess with all my stuff flying around. What is this Knight of Swords about for pile 3? Okay, what is this Page of Swords about for pile 3? Okay, and what is this Four of Wands about for pile 3? Okay, bottom deck, we have new direction. Interesting energy for you guys, because I really wasn't expecting this based off of like the energy check-in that we just did. All right, you guys, so let's see what's next for this relationship. It could be too, you guys, like sometimes, like, you'll have to let me know in the comments if you guys are like in connection with this person or not. This could be a situation where you guys don't realize how the other one is feeling right now. You know what I mean? Because it really feels like you guys are both on the same page in a lot of ways. I mean, overwhelmingly, that was the energy I'm getting. So to see some of this coming up here in the near future is a little surprising for me. But essentially what I'm seeing coming through, like I mentioned, is with Swords energy, this has to do with communicating. This has to do with taking action. This has to do with having conversations. But I feel like, you know, the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords both can sometimes come in a little clumsy with the way they communicate. They can sometimes come in a little blunt. They don't always say things in the most pretty or eloquent manner. They just kind of like blurt it out. You know, if anyone's ever been with an air sign before, friends with like Geminis, specifically Aquarius energy, like sometimes they can be a little cutthroat and not really mean it to come across that way, but it's just kind of because they're clumsy at communication at times, okay? And so I do feel that there is something around communication coming up here in the near future that is going to maybe cause a little bit of a roadblock in this relationship, a little bump in the road, if you will. Because we do have the message here of regret and we have barrier, which is making me feel like someone may potentially say something that they regret. And this is going to cause some sort of a blockage in communication or some sort of a blockage in us being able to feel like we can fully express what we need to express, right? The guard is going up, the walls are going up. Page of Swords is very guarded. You guys can see here this Knight of Swords is really coming across as very guarded as well. And I'm almost wondering with this Seven of Swords that was at the bottom of the deck, if the issue in this relationship is communication, because the Seven of Swords is many times about self-sabotaging behavior. It's about behavior like where we don't say how we really feel. We're moving in silence because we are afraid of being vulnerable. You can see this person has their swords close to their chest. And this card is a card of dishonesty and deception as well. So I wasn't necessarily picking up on that. It could be the case for some of you, but I feel more so this is about like not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. Like there's this undertone of not being vulnerable in this connection. Keeping how we feel to ourselves. And then when it comes out, it's like, oh man, I didn't mean to say it like that. Okay. We have here also the Four of Wands. This is soulmate energy. This is about like the door being open for things to flow, the door being open for things to come together, like a foundation being built. It's beautiful energy here. However, there's still this energy of not being totally awakened. So I feel like for you guys, like going back to the joined energy between both of you with intuition, right? I think both people in this relationship need to work on tapping into their intuition and really trying to see it from a higher perspective, because both parties maybe aren't as aware as they could be, even though there's improvements here. So let's see what your advice is, pile number 3. I'm really curious to see like what guidance Spirit has for you, because it's like the energy shared between you both was so beautiful and positive, but then like coming into the near future, it looks a little bit like a hot mess. I can't lie. Not a hot mess, but it just looks like it's going to be something blocking this from really coming together. Let's see. What advice do we have here, Spirit, for pile 3? For my viewers for pile 3. What do they need to do with this connection at this time? What guidance or advice can you provide for them? Let's go ahead and see. Receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. So I feel like you guys need to be focusing on the uniqueness of your person and learning that they are who they are and you can't change them. Maybe you guys are the compromise energy here. You could be the other one, but you know, the snowflake is really drawing my eye here. And we know that snowflakes, when you look at them super, super close, they all have a totally different, unique pattern to them. And you can't change it. That's just how they are. And so I feel like what you guys need to start doing to improve this situation with your person is to accept them as they are and appreciate what unique traits they possess. Even the things that you may not like about them, there needs to be maybe a way to transmute that into a positive, right? Like maybe your person is really clumsy with their words or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing out an example. Maybe they're kind of blunt the way they speak. The positive side to that is at least they're telling you how they feel, right? Because it could be a situation where someone doesn't tell you how they feel and you're in the dark all the time. So I feel like you guys are being really guided here by Spirit to find gratitude in the traits and qualities that your person does bring to the table and to accept them for 100% as they are without expecting any changes to their fundamental personality, okay? I also think that this is a message to accept this connection for what it is as well. Like, you know, more so though, accepting your person, because it's talking about gracious acceptance as a way to show love. And so I'm wondering if the friction here has been that like, maybe you guys don't feel like your person behaves in a way that you like, or maybe there's something about their personality that kind of ticks you off. But you're being guided to work on accepting that. And I feel like that's going to minimize conflict, because you guys think about it, if someone's always pointing out something about your personality, not saying you guys are doing this overtly, but you know, people can feel when you don't accept them for who they are. There's that friction there. And it doesn't feel good when it seems like someone isn't, you know, accepting you wholeheartedly as yourself or wanting you to change something about yourself that you don't really want to change. It doesn't feel good. So I feel like in order for you to become closer to this person, you have to be able to release any expectations of them being different. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out there for you, pile number 3. But that was a really interesting second half of your reading. Please let me know how it resonated with you. I always love hearing you guys' comments down below. Thank you guys if you stuck it out for this long. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.